ready to have your mind blown. Today, we're diving into a whirlwind of facts so incredible, they sound made up. But I promise, every single one is true. Let's get started. Did you know your brain is like a supercomputer? It can store about 2.5 petabytes of information. To put that in perspective, that's enough to hold 3 million hours of YouTube videos. And speaking of incredible things, you share about 60% of your DNA with a banana. Yes, a banana. We're all a little bit fruity, I guess. Let's head out into space for a moment. On Venus, a single day is longer than its entire year. Imagine that. You'd celebrate your birthday before the sun even sets. Back on Earth, under special conditions, water can actually boil and freeze at the same time. It's called the triple point, where it exists as a solid liquid and gas all at once. Our animal friends are just as weird and wonderful. Octopuses have not one, not two, but 3 hearts, and their blood is blue because it's copper-based, unlike our iron-based red blood. And speaking of long-lasting things, honey never spoils. Archaeologists have found pots of honey in ancient Egyptian tombs that are thousands of years old and still perfectly edible. Let's look at some man-made marvels. The Eiffel Tower actually gets taller in the summer. When the iron heats up, it expands, causing the tower to grow by up to 6 inches. But nature has its own incredible structures. Trees can communicate with each other through a vast underground network of fungi, sometimes called the Wood Wide Web. They share nutrients and even send warnings about pests. Alright, here's a fun one to try right now. Try to hum while holding your nose. You can't do it, right? That's because humming requires you to exhale air through your nose. It's a simple trick, but it reveals how our bodies work. Now, let's dive deep. A staggering 95% of Earth's living space is in the oceans. We know more about the surface of the moon than we do about our own ocean floors and what lives in those unexplored places. Maybe creatures like the tardigrade, also known as a water bear. These microscopic animals are almost indestructible and can even survive the vacuum of outer space. Think about the ground beneath your feet. A single teaspoon of soil contains billions of microbes, more than the number of people on Earth. The complexity of life is just astounding. And speaking of complexity, let's talk about chess. There are more possible games of chess than there are atoms in the known universe. The number is so big, it's hard to even comprehend. Our own bodies are a constant source of wonder. Your stomach lining completely replaces itself every few days to protect itself from the strong acid it produces. And our bones are not static. They are constantly breaking down old tissue and rebuilding new, stronger tissue. In fact, you get a completely new skeleton about every 10 years. Let's go back to bananas for a second. Not only do we share DNA with them, but they are also naturally slightly radioactive because they contain potassium-40. Don't worry, you'd have to eat millions of them in one sitting for it to be harmful. On the topic of extreme temperatures, a bolt of lightning is actually hotter than the surface of the sun. It can reach temperatures of up to 30,000 degrees Celsius. Ever feel like you're being watched? If there's a crow nearby, you might be. Crows have incredible memories and are known to recognize and remember human faces, especially if you've been kind or unkind to them. Some animals have even longer memories, or rather, longer lives. The Greenland shark can live for over 500 years, making it the longest living vertebrate. And some jellyfish are considered biologically immortal. They can revert back to an earlier stage of their life cycle and start over. Have you ever noticed that distinct, earthy smell after it rains? That scent has a name, petrichor. It's caused by a chemical released by soil-dwelling bacteria. And here's another sensory fact. Butterflies taste with their feet. They have receptors on their legs to check if a leaf is a good place to lay their eggs. History is full of strange facts too. The shortest war in history was between Britain and Zanzibar in 1896. It lasted only 38 minutes. In that short time, think about this, your own heart beats around 100,000 times a day. That's a lot of work. Let's look up at the night sky. It is estimated that there are more stars in the universe than grains of sand on all of Earth's beaches combined. And some of those stars become incredibly dense objects. A single teaspoon of a neutron star would weigh billions of tons. Imagine trying to lift that. We often think of ourselves as the pinnacle of intelligence, but octopuses evolved their remarkable intelligence completely independently from us. Their evolutionary path is totally different, which makes their problem-solving skills even more fascinating. Back on our own planet, The world's oldest known tree, a bristlecone pine named Methuselah, is over 4,800 years old. It was already ancient when the pyramids were being built. Nature has its own nightlife. Some mushrooms, in a phenomenon called bioluminescence, actually glow in the dark to attract insects. And speaking of brains, while neurons get all the credit, most of our brain cells are actually glial cells, which support and protect the neurons. Our furry friends have superpowers too. Dogs have such a powerful sense of smell that they can be trained to detect diseases like cancer just by sniffing a person's breath or samples. And some natural wonders are so massive, you can see them from space, like Australia's Great Barrier Reef. It's the world's largest living structure. Sound works differently underwater. Whale songs, which they use to communicate, can travel for hundreds, sometimes thousands, of miles across the ocean. And our own senses are more powerful than we think. While we used to believe humans could only detect about 10,000 smells, recent research suggests we can distinguish at least 1 trillion different odors. Let's talk about some quirky animal habits. Sloths have such a slow metabolism that they only poop about once a week, and it's a major event for them. Elephants have a unique way of listening. They can hear low-frequency sounds and vibrations through their feet, helping them detect approaching storms or other herds from miles away. Back to space. A day on Jupiter is super short, lasting only about 10 hours. Meanwhile, the sunlight we see isn't instantaneous. It takes about 8 minutes and 20 seconds for light from the sun to travel all the way to Earth. Let's do some chemistry. Certain metals, like sodium and potassium, are so reactive that they can explode when they come into contact with water. And how much do you walk? Over an average lifetime, a person walks about 100,000 miles, which is like circling the Earth 4 times. Even when you're not moving, your body is working. You continue to produce saliva even while you sleep to keep your mouth clean. Here's a techie tidbit. The very first computer bug was a real insect. In 1947, a moth got stuck in a relay of the Harvard Mark II computer, causing it to malfunction. Grace Hopper, a computer pioneer, taped the moth into the logbook, and the term has stuck ever since. Birds have an internal GPS. They can navigate thousands of miles during migration using Earth's magnetic field. And our own minds are incredibly powerful. The placebo effect isn't just in your head. It can cause real, measurable physical changes in your body, just from the belief that a treatment will work. Music can do that, too. It physically reshapes your brain, strengthening connections between different areas. Think Antarctica is all ice. It is, but it's also the driest continent on Earth. It's technically a desert because it gets so little precipitation. Centuries ago, Vikings were incredible navigators. It's believed they used special crystals called sunstones to locate the sun's position on cloudy days. Let's end with some adorable facts. Sea otters often hold hands with each other while they sleep so they don't float away. It's both cute and practical. And that powerful sneeze you try to hold in, it can travel at speeds up to 100 miles per hour. Luckily, our bodies are always renewing. Your taste buds, for example, replace themselves every 2 weeks. That's why a burnt tongue heals so quickly. And finally, a little patience. If you love pineapples, know that they take 2 to 3 years to grow just one fruit, so savor every bite. From giant alcohol clouds in space to the fact that you're literally made of stardust, the universe is packed with wonders. Sharks existed before trees, bees talk through dancing, and the moon is slowly drifting away from us. Every day, there's something new and amazing to learn. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey through some truly mind-blowing facts. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. See you next time.